In your previous class, in chapter number 2, you learned about the American War of Independence. And today we shall learn about the French Revolution, which took place in 1789. This revolution brought about tremendous changes, political and social, in France. I shall cover up these two topics under this. First is causes of the French Revolution, and second is the outbreak of the war. Under the causes of the French Revolution, first is political cause. And under this political cause, children, during that time, France was ruled by King Louis XVI. And he believed in the divine rights of the king. That means he believed that he was the representative of God on this earth. And therefore he was not answerable to the people. He and his wife, Marie Antoinette, they ruled like autocrats and they ignored the suffering of the people. Both of them became very unpopular among the people. Second is the administration was corrupt under him. The people, the nobles and the officials under him were very corrupt. They tortured the people for taxes and arrested and confined many people without a trial. So his administration was very loose. After this, children, I shall see the social causes. Among the social causes, first let's see the society of France. The French society was divided into 3 states. First state consisted of clergy. Clergy means the priest, the church officials. And second state that consisted of the nobility. Nobility means the nobles of the king and his officials. The third state that consisted of the peasants. Peasants means children, farmers, workers and bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie means the middle class, and that consisted of merchants, traders, doctors, teachers, lawyers and so on. Lawyers and so on. And 95% of the total population belonged to this third class. And this third class was suffering under the burden of taxes because the maximum taxes were paid by the third class. Third cause is the economic cause. Children, under the economic cause, the luxurious life of the king, clergy and nobles and frequent wars emptied the state treasury. Since France was fighting a number of series of wars with England, its state treasury was empty. Second is people of the first and the second estate, they did not pay any tax. The entire burden of taxation was on the third estate. Fourth reason is, children, intellectual. Philosophers like Voltaire and Rousseau, we pronounce this word as Rousseau, they inspired people to rise against all forms of inequality, injustice and corruption. So people were inspired by the writings of Voltaire and Rousseau, who told them to rise against all forms of inequality and injustice. Number 5 is influence of the American War of Independence. The children, influence of the American War of Independence. France had supported the colonists in the American War of Independence. Many French soldiers, they had participated in the war. When these soldiers returned home, they brought with them the ideas of democracy and nationalism. Children, can you see this picture, Statue of Liberty? This was presented to the American people by French. The statue was so tall that it was not sent to them in one piece, but it was sent to them in various pieces, and when it reached America, the pieces were assembled and then it was put at the New York harbor. And now let's see how the revolution started. In May 1789, King Louis XVI, he summoned means call. He called the State General. The meaning of a State General, children, it is just like a parliament which consists of president and the 2 houses. In the same way, this State General, it consisted of all the 3 states, first, second and third. Because there was economic crisis in the country, somehow no agreement could be reached between the first 2 states and the third state. As a result, the third state formed the National Assembly on 17 June 1789. Children, you see this picture here? You can see this picture here, children. This state general has been called. The king is addressing them. Here the clergy, first state is sitting. This side you can see the second state, the nobles and the officials of the king, and this side sitting the third state, which consisted of the common people. When no agreement was reached, they walked out. The third state walked out of the state general and they formed National Assembly. Now we shall see the tennis court oath. 20th June 1789, members of the National Assembly met in a tennis court and vowed. Vowed means promised to stay united in their struggle to frame constitution for the nation. This incident is known as the tennis court oath. And this made King Louis XVI very angry, and he adopted oppressive measures to suppress the National Assembly. And now the storming of the Bastille. Bastille was a prison close to Paris. On 14 July, the rebels attacked Bastille. They broke open its gates and released all the prisoners. This event is popularly known as storming of the Bastille. It marked the beginning of the French Revolution. Now a war broke out in Paris and other parts of France. King Louis XVI and his wife Marie Antoinette were arrested and they were put to death. Thus the National Assembly ended. Thus the National Assembly ended monarchy and established a republican government in France. It also adopted a famous document that was Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. So children, that's all for today, and your homework is to revise and learn about French Revolution. Thank you.